Hello everybody, it's Starper here. I'm so glad you could join me for my spoiler-free review of Marvel's The Punisher Season 1. This is on Netflix and this follows up his first appearance in Daredevil Season 2. He is one of the best things from Daredevil Season 2 and I think he was worthy of his own show. So I was super pumped to learn that he was getting his own series, and let me tell you guys, it does not disappoint. So this series is about Frank Castle getting to his roots. Basically, his mission to avenge his family that were brutally murdered, and it goes back into his backstory and everything in between. So let's talk about the positives of this series. First off, it's the Punisher, and you can't do the Punisher without having brutal violence, and it's just like it was in Daredevil Season 2, but maybe actually turned up a notch. It's just some things were just so brutal, even from the very first episode. There were moments where I was literally yelling out loud, cringing at how crazy violent this is. I mean, Marvel came out and they said, look, this is going to be our most violent show that we've ever done to date, even maybe their most violent MCU project in general, and they do not stray away from that. It is really just gory and just moments where you were just like, wow, they went there. Another thing I really enjoyed was just the whole government conspiracy overtones of what was going on. I thought that was very creative and it added so much tension to this season. I also really enjoyed the social commentary on things happening in reality right now, like terrorism and just about the war veterans coming back from war, stuff that like actually makes you think, and it's not just an enjoyable experience, but it evokes a lot of just open-ended kind of things that might be going on in the world and has you actually think. And that's what was really good with TV, right? And movies in general, is you want to actually have something that relates to real life, and this really does that in a great way. I also enjoyed the flashbacks. Now, there were certain series that could have really used flashbacks. I'm looking at you, Iron Fist Season 1, and this show just completely goes all in on the flashbacks, and it really just makes the story that much more rich. You can really understand the character of Frank Castle that much more. So, Jon Bernthal as the Punisher is amazing. He really makes this character somebody that I really like, and I mean, you're looking at the character from the outside, right? He is a guy that, at his core, he is not a good guy. He is really what you call an anti-hero. He is going around, he is slaughtering these people that are sometimes helpless, but they are linked to bad deeds. And he will do that and show them no mercy, but you somehow love the guy. You somehow come out of watching this show, and I am literally like, this might be one of my favorite characters in the MCU. This might be one of my favorite characters in anything ever. Like, holy crap. Is this guy complex? And we go, like I said, into his flashbacks, and you really see he is a much deeper person. You really get into who he actually is. And then another thing I like is the family values, and that was really what ties things together. You see Frank Castle kind of dealing with things with other characters. I'm not giving it away, but you really come away from this series like, wow, family matters, and you gotta stick up for what you believe in. And yeah, I can't talk good enough things about the character of the Punisher. Wow, it is powerful watching this series. Another thing I really liked about this TV series is it's so far disconnected from the other Marvel shows. You might even just stop and wonder, is this even connected to stuff like the Avengers? Is this even connected to other very close things like Daredevil? Yes, we have one character, Karen Page. She was in the trailers, and that's pretty much the only other connection. There are a brand new set of villains, brand new set of hero characters, you know, compatriots of Frank's. So you can get into this series and not have to worry about the other series. You can just jump right in to the Punisher without watching anything else, and you probably wouldn't really feel like you missed out on anything. And talking about the villains, holy crap, this might actually have some of the best villains in all of the MCU, in all of the comic book kind of TV shows that I have watched in the last couple years. I mean, they really go all in on the characters and what they are feeling and what their backgrounds are and what motivates them, what compels them to do certain things. You actually see from the side of the villains, and you can actually agree, like, oh, I can understand why they might be acting the way they are. And that's what happens when you create good villains, is you actually make the villains seem like they are actually doing the right thing, even though they really aren't. So great job with the villains. As much as I enjoyed this series, believe me, I love this series. There's just like one or two things I have to nitpick, guys, and they're not big things at all. First off, okay, the Punisher seems a little bit like the Wolverine in a way that he has some kind of super healing ability, which he really does not, because we know this character is just like you and me. He doesn't have any kind of blood that makes him heal faster, but yet we see Frank Castle getting the crap beat out of him, getting shot and everything else, and it seems like he just doesn't get affected too much other than that. Like, he just goes right back into battle like the next couple hours, like nothing ever really happened. I did enjoy, though, seeing a hero, just like in Daredevil 2, that is vulnerable. You see him actually getting wounds and dealing with them, but I would have liked to see, they could have spaced it out a little bit more, maybe not hurt him as much, because it does get to that point where it's like, okay, this isn't really all that believable. And speaking of the action, as much as I enjoyed it, because don't get me wrong, I love seeing the Punisher at his best, I just don't think we've seen enough of that in this season. There is quite a bit of talking. You know, this is a 13 episode season, and that always runs the risk of having certain episodes that maybe couldn't have been in there, shouldn't have been in there, to just kind of make the pacing better, because this series opens up with a very strong start, and it ends with a bang. Like, those last 3 episodes, I challenge you not to stop watching within the last 3 episodes straight, because it is really some of the best TV out there with those last 3 hours worth. But in between, it does get a little muddied sometimes. But with that being said, I have to score The Punisher Season 1 a 9 out of 10. This is up there with Daredevil Season 2, which just inches it out. I think my ranking would be Daredevil Season 2, then The Punisher Season 1, and maybe Daredevil Season 1 after that. It's just a phenomenal show. They get pretty much everything right with this show, and that is, you know, something that I was really looking forward to. This is the most, like, realistic crime drama that, you know, Marvel Netflix has done, and I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. If you enjoyed Daredevil Season 2, if you enjoyed the character of Frank Castle and that, they just, you know, kick it up a notch in this, and man, I am looking forward to whatever the future might hold for Frank Castle. So that is going to do it for my review of The Punisher Season 1, but now it's time for you guys to tell me, what did you think of The Punisher? Is he up there in one of your favorite anti-heroes? Let me know in that comment section below. Also, if you're new to the channel, I have plenty of other content that I upload on a weekly basis, so you can always look forward to lots of Star Wars content, as well as other TV shows and movies. And you can subscribe to support the channel, and that way you'll never miss another video with the notifications. I'm Star Raptor. I want to thank you guys for watching, and bye-bye. Thanks for checking out the video. Please hit that thumbs up symbol. It helps me know that I'm making content that you guys enjoy. And if you enjoyed this video, I also include 2 videos down below you guys should check out. And please consider subscribing to this channel. It helps support me, and it notifies you guys of when I get new videos up on the channel. You can also contact me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Star Raptor.